All right, welcome to The Explainer. We are skipping the long, drawn-out intro today because I want to jump straight into it, right into exactly where you feel you are in life at this very second. You know, the truth about winning and, well, getting unstuck, it's rarely talked about with total honesty. So whether you're absolutely crushing it right now or you're feeling completely stalled out, we're going to break down the actual mechanics of momentum. We're getting into the real psychological reality of what it actually takes to move forward.
I need you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not too late, and you are definitely not done. Look, it is so incredibly common to look around at what everyone else is doing and just feel this crushing, paralyzing sense that you are falling behind schedule. But here's the psychological reality. Most people who quit, they don't quit because they're weak or they lack the capacity. No, they quit because of cognitive fatigue. They just get tired of waiting. They get exhausted from putting in the work and not seeing immediate results. Tired of feeling like they're stuck in the mud while everyone else is supposedly pulling ahead. But honestly, that friction, it is not the end of the road.
And that brings us to a massively important realization. Every single successful person you admire was once completely invisible. Just think about that for a second. This messy, unseen beginning, it's a totally normal, unavoidable phase. It's the phase where absolutely nobody is clapping for you. Nobody sees your vision yet because, well, it hasn't materialized. And when you're in that invisible phase, your brain loves to interpret that silence as failure. But you are not failing, you're building. Literally, the only difference between the people you look up to and the ones who gave up is that the successful ones just kept going through the silence.
Section 1, the consistency secret. What truly separates winners from everyone else? Okay, let's dive into this. We are all so conditioned to believe that talent, luck, and intelligence are these magical ingredients for winning, right? It's an easy narrative, and honestly, it kind of gives us an out. But in reality, consistency stands completely alone. Success is not about some natural, God-given gift. It is entirely about showing up when you genuinely do not feel like it. It's about executing when the room is empty, when nobody is watching you, and just pushing forward even when your own nervous system is literally begging you to hit the brakes and conserve energy. Consistency is the real heavy lifter here.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Your feelings do not determine your future. Your actions do. We surrender so much power to our temporary emotional states, don't we? We wake up feeling unmotivated, maybe a little tired or doubtful, and we let those passing chemical fluctuations dictate whether or not we actually do the work. Listen, taking concrete action must always override your temporary feeling of not wanting to do it. Because if you wait around until you organically feel like doing the hard things, well, you're going to remain exactly where you are today.
Which brings us to a very direct question for you. How many times have you told yourself a variation of what we're about to hear? I want you to honestly reflect right now on your own daily habits of delaying action.
I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it later. I'm just not ready yet. Come on, we have all whispered these exact phrases to ourselves, and they feel so harmless in the moment, don't they? They act as these little rationalizing safety blankets. We convince ourselves that tomorrow is going to somehow magically offer better conditions, or we'll have more energy or a clearer mind. So we just keep stacking these tiny little excuses, one right on top of the other, just waiting for the stars to perfectly align before we take that first step.
Stop. There is no perfect moment. That is the harsh, unbending reality you just have to face. There is no perfect plan, and there is absolutely zero perfect timing. If you keep waiting for this flawless set of circumstances to arrive, you are literally going to be waiting forever. To break the tension of all those excuses, you have to accept that conditions are always going to be flawed. Section 2, redefining the engine. Starting messy and stacking small wins. Look, the people who actually win in life, they don't start out with some flawless master strategy. They start messy, they start scared, they start totally unsure of themselves. But the key is, they start. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. That just triggers massive systemic overwhelm. No, step 1, just win today. Wake up with purpose and just finish what you started today. That's the whole shebang. Because step 2, those tiny daily wins, they build big confidence. And step 3, that confidence inevitably creates unstoppable momentum. It's just about getting a little bit better every single day. As you'll see here, this brilliantly illustrates the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Actually, neurochemically speaking, it has a remarkably short half-life. You can listen to something super inspiring, get a massive dopamine spike for an hour, and then lose it completely by Tuesday afternoon when reality sets in. But discipline builds empires. It is the absolute foundational rock that actually rewires your habits and changes your life.
while motivation is really just a temporary, super unreliable spark. So, to be absolutely clear on what we're talking about, discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like doing it. It sounds simple on paper, right? But it is literally one of the hardest cognitive functions to execute consistently. There are going to be days when you feel utterly lost, totally exhausted, and where nothing seems to be working. But listen to me, those are actually the days that matter the most. Anybody can do the work when the neurochemistry is flowing and it feels easy. But showing up when it's incredibly hard, that right there is where your baseline shifts. That is where your future is actually decided.
Section 3. The ultimate choice. Comfort versus growth. Every single day, the very moment you wake up, you are faced with a stark, binary decision. Option 1, you can stay comfortable and stay exactly the same. Sure, it feels really good right now. It satisfies that primal urge we all have to conserve energy, but it costs you absolutely everything later. Or Option 2, you can push yourself and grow. Now this feels painful and highly uncomfortable in the moment, but it gives you everything later. It's a direct inverse relationship. You are either trading your future for a comfortable present, or you're sacrificing a comfortable present for a vastly better future. I want you to project yourself exactly 1 year into the future. Day 1 is today, the decision. Now fast forward through 6 months of that messy middle, where you're forging those neural pathways and building habits when it's just agonizingly hard. Then visualize the 1 year mark, the result. Seriously, visualize the inevitable outcome of the choices you are making right now, today. Because the year's gonna pass, regardless of what you do.
And when that year passes, you are going to be left with one of two sentences echoing in your head. You're either going to look back and say, man, I'm so glad I didn't give up, or you're going to say, I wish I'd started. It is a blunt confrontation, I know, and yet, doing the work is hard, for sure. But waking up every single day knowing you could have done more, but you actively chose not to, that is a life defined by regret. And the psychological burden of that regret, just knowing you left your potential on the table, that stays with you forever.
Section 4, the action phase. Nobody is coming to save you. Here is the cold, hard truth. No one is going to knock on your door one morning and just hand you your dream life on a silver platter. It's not happening. It is entirely dependent on your habits, your decisions, and your effort. So starting today, right now, you need to make a decision. And I don't mean some weak, half-hearted attempt. Not a, well, maybe I'll try this out kind of commitment. You need to make a real, uncompromising choice. No matter what, I am going to become the best version of myself. You have something incredibly powerful inside of you that simply refuses to give up. And the moment you decide to fully take control of it, your entire trajectory changes. I want you to mentally lock these mantras in right now. I don't quit. I don't make excuses. I don't settle. Say them again in your own mind. Use them to spark that relentless drive inside of you. It is time to get up, get intensely focused, build that discipline, and go actively chase exactly what is yours. Because here's the thing, your future isn't waiting, it's watching. It is sitting there right now, closely observing the choices you are making in this exact moment. So knowing everything we've just covered, what exactly is your future going to see you do next? You have the blueprint. Now it's time to make it happen.